is going to be treated as the syllabus for NEET?
In the same point, the NCERT syllabus is very clear. It gives a rationalized textbook on its website. It says that the contents which are irrelevant in the present context, the present edition is a reformatted version after carrying out the changes given above. The present textbook uploaded in PDF form are rationalized textbooks. These were rationalized for the session 2022, 2023 and will continue from 2023 to 2024. So, Your Lordship, this same fact has been stated in 2019 edition as well. So, if we are going backwards in 28 and considering that a student who has studied in 2018 is giving the examination, so the student has to be aware of the latest developments that are taking place. Also, there have been circulation of fact that the study material provided by all these coaching institute, they themselves are referring to 2018 editions. I have certain copies, but Your Lordship, I'm not going on that fact. But the student has to be aware of the latest development that is taking.
Arguing that either delete this entire question and grade all students out of 716.
Yes.
Alternately, if you're not doing that, then only option 4 should be treated as
Your Lordship, in my case, I have answered the question correctly. I have answered point for the option 4 as the right answer.
I'm saying that treat only option 4 as
yes, Your Lordship, because the question is not ambiguous, Your Lordship.
So the difference between your learned friend and you is she didn't answer the question at all.
Yes, Your
Lordship. You answered, but you answered correctly question
yes, Your
4.
Lordship.
So you're both saying treat question 4 only as a correct
yes,
answer.
Your Lordship.
In her case, the benefit will be that the number of people who get the 4 marks will be less.
Yes, sir.
In your case, you have answered the question.
Yes.
You want the exclusion of those who gave option 2. Right?
Yes.
To bring more clarity, Justice Pilot, I have filed an affidavit in this regard and I have clarified.
What did you answer?
I have correctly answered, my lord.
4 or option 2 or 4?
In my answer paper, the option 3 was correct. That is,
no, what did you answer? Which option did you give?
Correct answer I have answered, my lord. That is
correct means what? There were 2 correct answers now.
No, my lord. Only one correct answer was given in the, my lord, what happened here? Can I clarify? Only one.
Tell us, did you answer option 2 or option 4?
My lord, there are 4 options. I have correct, my lord. Correct.
You have answered 3.
Answer 3. That is correct one. That is correct one.
We are left with
that is, I can.
Only one is left now. 1, 2, 3, 4.
4.
He says 4. He says.
My lord,
he said.
Well,
good to us, we might even come to the conclusion that option 1 was the correct option.
my lord, no, my lord, it is not. I have filed the document.
My lords,
Can you give me 2 minutes? My lord,
let me
clarify.
just clarify.
My lord, kindly 2
My
minutes.
lords, this question has different options are treated as
sequence is different.
because there are different question papers where this same question is a different question number and then the options are also differently numbered.
Yes.
So therefore for him, option 4 is option 3.
Yes. My lord,
Hence the confusion.
my lord, can I request, my lord?
The options that will all change.
Yes, sir.
depending on
Option
the-
also. Correct.
Yes.
My lord, kindly see here.
So he's on the same.
He's on the same one
Correct.
as ma'am there.
But kindly see page number 13 of my additional paperwork, my lord. I have filed the documents on the record.
Maybe 3 in
I have-
his case.
Yeah.
Question.
4 maybe that.
4 maybe 3. Yes, correct. My lord, kindly see one.
See, both your learned friends have done the arguing for you. Just sit, sail with them. That's
My
all.
lord, only one.
Let them push
Well,
the oars. You'll be
that's-
better.
well,
happier. You might actually.
My lord, deletion,
create a problem for your case.
deletion would not be with my lord.
Both your learned young friends have made very well.
Well, can I request only one thing? Well, page number 19 and 20. We
You
have
might spoil your case and their case as well.
no. This page number 19 and 20, my lord, we have filed the NCERT textbook also, where it has been mentioned that which is correct one. In 2023, my lord, the correct one has been mentioned. Therefore, my lord, the answer which was given earlier, first time published, is the correct answer.
Same, my lords. It's the same argument.
Same argument. That question 4 was the option 4.
It is in my case.
I don't know. Option 3.
Yes, my
That's
lord.
what he's also then identical to what you are.
And my lord, ranking is very important factor, my lord. Our petitioners have got 700, 680, 682.
So this question 90 is a problem, huh? And these are all genuine students because, see, the point is both your young friends have made a very powerful argument that they say that look, the instructions are that you must go by the latest version. Now, option 4 is admittedly according to you the correct version. You pick up that as your key.
Correct.
Now, you've decided to accept option 2 based on the fact that the 2019 edition of the NCERT book had what is option 2. They are saying that, look, option 4 being the correct answer, both of them are, they are arguing basically on the same line. The first learned Ms. Suriti, no? Suriti Chaudhary, she argues that, look, though I didn't answer it, don't give those who answered option 2 full mark.
Look,
Your other, ma'am, what's your name?
Isha Singh.
Isha is arguing that, look, I answered that. How can you give somebody who answered option 2 full mark?
I've understood, my lord. The
There, I
fallacy,
think they may have a point. Actually.
they have a,
to,
no, my lord, the fallacy will be this, my lord. In the first argument, those who have not answered, my lord, incidentally, she happens to be a candidate who is falling within first 100, possibly,
There's
but
a possible answer to what Suriti argued, which is that if you don't answer the question, the assumption is that you don't know the answer.
exactly, otherwise this
That's the only
benefit
thing
will
against
go,
what she argued.
otherwise this benefit
But
will go
which she
to,
argued that, look, as a responsible student, I found that there was an ambiguity, that question 2 and question 4, rather than get a negative mark, I decided not to answer.
I have understood, my lord, that submission, that argument of my learned friend, it's a very catchy argument. But suppose, my lord, she happens to be having 700 plus, but suppose I am having only 50 marks. And I did not answer because I did not know the answer. Then, my lord, if we go by the general rule, that then delete all the answers, or those who were very confident and knew about the new rule,
Or her alternate argument, the first argument is that delete the entire question.
yes,
The second alternate argument is that even if you allot questions, don't give me any marks. She said, I'm out on that question because I didn't attempt it. I didn't know. But give 4 marks only to those who gave option 4 is the correct answer. Because her argument is, okay, I don't get anything in this. But by giving 4 marks to those who give option 2, you are actually increasing the number of people who got full marks for that.
I'll just
That is the area which the
I'll-
alternate argument is
I'll-
something which is very important. What they have argued.
I'll try and answer, my lord.
And even, my lord, they have changed the answer also subsequently.
And that is made very clear in the case of Ms. Isha's client, because there, it's unlike the first case, her client answers that question and answers correctly. So both these candidates will, if they are right, then the number of people above them will come down
Yes,
drastically. And
What we have considered is this, my lord.
that's the point we have to consider. We'll hear you on this. That's the one point we'll have to
My lord,
consider.
but otherwise, my lord, my immediate answer is, we are not dealing with a situation where out of two, one answer is wrong and one answer is.
So why did you
right.
actually, why did NTA eventually come to the conclusion that we will give full marks for option 2 also?
The reason is both were otherwise correct answers, the additions changed. So the confusion was logical.
Not be.
Scientifically,
But-
my lord, it's
Scientifically, it
not
cannot be
possible. How
allowed.
can you say atoms, most elements of the atom are stable, and then also say all are stable? It'll either be most
What
or
is the question? What is the question?
My lord, I'll just read it out. My lord's question number 19 says,
We take it right to the question on tort or criminal procedure, right? So we'll be able to understand it better.
my lord, it's actually, in terms of English construction, it is very straightforward.
Even though.
2 statements. Statement 1, just read it.
Statement 1, my lord, says that
Rajkumar Mishra is very confident of this. Both of us don't have that confidence on this, but we'll see for the.
My lord, statement 1 says atoms are electrically neutral as they contain equal number of positive and negative charges. To this, there's no problem, my lords. This is fine. Statement 2 says atoms of
What is the
each
question?
element.
If you can read the question, please.
Question.
Oh,
That's the
oh,
question.
that's
This is
the
the question.
question. Oh.
Statement 2, atoms of each element are stable and emit their characteristic spectrum. Now, my lords, the interesting part is that as per the old NCERT, the answer is atoms of each element are stable and emit characteristic spectrum. As per the new NCERT, it says atoms of most of the elements are stable and emit characteristic spectrum. Now, if a student is looking at this and they know that the new one says most and the old one says each, it is not possible that both are correct. It can either be each or it can be most. Now,
I think scientifically, the radioactive elements are not stable.
Therefore, they have given correct answer also.
The answer key said option 4 is therefore the correct answer.
Yes.
And
Your
option
Lordship,
three,
this was edited, this new edition came into 2019 itself.
Yes.
That atoms of most.
Addition. I've understood the problem.
But students, Mr. Solicitor, students are expected to read the new edition or the old edition?
New edition. That's the rule.
That's the rule. No?
That's
Yes,
So
that's
if the student relies on an old edition, how can that
he
student get the
is also, my lord, not to be faulted. That's
No, but your rule says that you have to read the latest edition. Right?
23 says only item.
So by giving marks to option 2, you are in that sense going against your own rule, which says you must read the latest edition.
it's a
let me examine this. I have understood, my lord,
Look
the
at it,
question. There
because
is
a
a
lot of students will be affected in the.
Lord, the 9 lakhs have given answer 4 to be correct.
Let's,
38,370.
See, those who have given 4 as correct are fine.
928 and
427.
424 lakh 20,000.
Just tell us, Mr. Solicitor, what are the figures?
Lord, only as per the old book, the candidates who have given answer is 4 lakh 20,773.
That is option 2.
Yes.
And option 4,
And new 9 lakh 28,379.
9 lakhs, 28,000.
379.
So if you take only option 4 as the correct answer, these 9,28,379 will get full marks for that question.
which we've already.
So 4 lakh, they've already got.
Internal
But 4,20,000 students will get
from the rank list.
either
Negative.
0 or a negative mark.
Minus.
Negative marking.
Minus.
They will get the negative mark.
5 marks difference.
That's why in
They'll make a
totality,
difference of 5 marks.
5 marks.
So they will lose their 4 correct marks
And
they will get, and they'll get one negative mark.
Your Lordship, what is surprising?
My lords, therefore, when we want to find an equitable solution. Sorry.
Lord, received, I'm sorry. We received representations from poor families that we used our siblings' book or we didn't have new editions, etc., etc.
Surprising is the older edition, which may have the newest edition 2019 already has that the most elements are stable and emit characteristic spectrum. But what is surprising is the old booklet, that is 2018 or backward, is not even available in the market, Your Lordship.
No, that is available. That,
I tried to find out what is the older version. From where will I get it? The books are not available. If a child is reading their older siblings'
are
books,
passed down.
so I don't know when did they pass out.
The books are passed down, my lords. That's the reason, and most importantly, it's the reason that a lot of there may be sentences.
older versions are.
Older version.
I will not join issue. They have some case, my lord, we will examine.
Lordship, I am a student from EWS. And I have the
Obviously.
The problem is, suppose we accept their argument and we say that anybody who answered option 2 shouldn't get any marks. None of those students are here.
It's the problem.
My lords,
And-
we just
and-
say
It would reshuffle
5 marks. 5 marks, a very substantial difference.
4 plus 1.
Somebody who makes, because 44 out of 61 students,
And those
get
who have
all those 44 students will not only go down from 720, they'll get from 720, they'll go come to 715.
And those who have not answered, not because they were brilliant, but because they were not answering, they would be benefited.
In the sense that those who answered
Then-
option 2 will go out of the fray.
my lords, if
Then
we
it
were
may
to
be
do
related.
this equitably,
Both answer.
just to explain.
Mr. Solicitor, the way your answers are framed, answer 2 is both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct. Right? That means both are correct. 4 is statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. You couldn't have treated both as correct answers.
Yes, Your Lord.
No, 1 and
Your Lord.
2 and 4. 2
Let
and
me,
4.
let me examine.
Your Lordship.
Just examine. Because
And
You have to take either option 2 or option 4. How can we
Both
choose
can't
the
be
correct
true.
one? Both can't be. They can't survive. They can't exist.
Prima facie, that appears to.
They can't. My lords,
With my lord's kind permission,
In item 3,
It can vary from.
with my lord's kind permission, may I beg to appear in item number 3.21?
One option is mutually exclusive.
Yes.
One is saying yes, other is saying no. It is clear case of the ruling out each other.
Your Lordship, the provisional answer key had option 4 as the right answer.
Right.
It was only subsequent to the challenge by 13,000 odd students that the expert committee tend to change the answer.
Because of the older edition.
Yes, yes.
It's by
The
deeming.
answer, the change is not because 2 is also correct.
No.
No.
But because 2 was what was shown in
Yes.
an older edition.
Yes.
May be correct also. We do not know, my lord. Right now, I can't say, my lord.
Your Lordship.
My lord,
It's
science.
technically, my lord,
Possible.
Yeah.
it's not our subject. Maybe it is correct. It may be.
The experts,
Yes. So we have the report of the expert also.
Mr. Solicitor, did the experts say that actually 2 is the correct answer?
I have not seen, my lord. I
That's
must.
what they said.
Initially, first answer key has shown option 2 only correct, sir. It is the difference of the question number. And later on, 2 options of the revisions.
Well, there are different.
All right, now
My
we have heard everybody on this.
Lord, there is
My
one.
lord,
There
we
is
have
one.
the expert committee.
Let's see the expert.
My Lord, there is one issue of Meghalaya students where 2 centers, the papers were wrongly distributed. And then by the time the right question papers were distributed, around 40 to 1 hour time was lost. Now, in their written submission, the NTA says at 17 July written submission at page 21, paras 21, my lord, they say that factual reports from city coordinators of Joy and Riboi, which are in Meghalaya, have established that loss of time was compensated for all appearing candidates. Lord, this is incorrect because in my case, these students have come up, they made representation that loss of time was there.
Just one
And
second. One second. After the-
3.34, my lord. I'll just.
Lord, separately considered. But I'll examine.
Uh,
My lord, I'm at serial number 2.3.
my lords,
Sawal. Okay. Both answers cannot be correct. As a layman, let me.
No, the statement 2 can't be correct because the radioactive element is not stable.
Yes, Your Lordship.
So the answer, correct answer would have to be 4.
And it's submitted with 3.
Yes, yes.
Varying from paper to
So
paper.
possibly the earlier books mentioned a wrong answer.
They mentioned the wrong answer.
That's
And it can't be that both answers are treated as correct because there is an internal inconsistency between option 2 and option 3. One can't survive with the other.
exactly. That's
Both
what
can
I say.
survive together.
That as a layman, I feel both can't coexist. Both can't be true.
You see, normally you take 2 options as correct, where possibly both options are the correct answer. Now, in a situation like this, there is obviously an internal inconsistency between option 2 and 4. Both can't survive together. That's the problem. But I'll tell you what is worrying us also. I mean, that now 4,20,000 students have got the benefit of what you have done.
And based upon the book printed and continued to remain
There
printed.
you don't have much of a case because your rules say that when you have to
I
go by
think
the
there is
Yes, yes, Your Lordship.
I think there is no such rule, my lord. I am told, subject to verification.
We'll just check
There
that
is no
out. You
such
can also sit with the officers in the evening and
Yes,
tell us.
I will.
Manoj, I appear in 3.30.
In
I have
3.34, my lord. In the
To make a short submission.
where the writ petition was filed by the students.
3 point?
3.34, my lord, if my lord may kindly have it. The students of Jovai and Riboi.
So you got the wrong question paper.
Wrong question paper. Then they were right question papers were circulated, which resulted in a time lag of.
But according to the NTA, loss of time was compensated, no?
Lord, that is what I wanted to show. We were not given any compensatory marks, nor we were permitted to appear in the re-examination which was conducted for 1,563 students. And if my lord may kindly have my additional documents, IA number 133878 of 2020.
Mr. Solicitor, this is a slightly different case. You can take instructions.
I am 3.20.
3.34. My learned solicitor.
I am appearing 3.3 and
3.16. I want to show two pages just.
Now, what is your grievance?
It is regarding Manoj that we say that a re-NEET should be happen, Manoj.
Sorry?
A retest should be happen, Manoj. Grievance is that, Manoj.
On what?
On Manoj, I have 2 pages, Manoj.
Now,
my IA.
Tell us how many lawyers are asserting a retest should be happening now? No, apart from those who have argued.
I'm the lawyer.
So, those who are saying a retest should be happening, give us a 1-page, half-page written submission on why the retest should happen.
Yes,
email it to the court master by this evening. All right. Those who are saying a retest should happen, not those who have argued in the court, right? Those who have argued in the court, you need not submit your written submissions. Those who additionally want to supplement, half a page you can give us.
Just one. There is one.
I say one thing more.
All right.
There is one graph.
With my lord's kind permission, I'm in 3.21.
There is one graph I want to show, Manoj.
So what graph?
The graph of the students, comparative graph of what was the test results, Manoj, between 2023 and 2024. There is a graph which, Manoj, the graph earlier was that it achieves a peak and it dies down, Manoj.
Right.
Now it is not like that. It is like it is achieving a peak, then it is going like this, Manoj.
Right.
Then coming to
that he showed. Your
yes.
friend showed.
And then, Manoj, there is one also secondary argument, Manoj. There was a news report which says there was CCTV missing, CCTVs which were there, which should be there, were missing. There were unguarded strong rooms, and which was found in an independent review of this, Manoj, by a third party, Manoj. So what was happened, Manoj? It is like 40% of the exam centers. There were no CCTVs. There were no guard at the
point has been made. All right.
I will
we now follow
but
the
Lordship, permit me to mention something more than this.
So why don't you mention it in your submission in half a page?
Lordship, today morning itself, I received some documents from my client. I did not file anything, but this is something more than that. I appeared in the examination. As per the matching of the answer sheet sent by the NTA, I obtained 561 marks. When NTA sent a result to me, then I obtained only 353 marks. When, as per my Lord's order, they uploaded the entire result, I obtained 461 marks. That is much more than that, my lord.
Matter.
No, it is not listed, my lord, because today itself I received all these things. So please, my lord, I have this, my lord. I have
not even filed the matter.
It's only today morning.
You have not even filed the matter. What do we take cognizance?
I could not file because itself today morning I received all these things.
You file something, we'll then deal with it. We can't just take up matters like this.
These are 3-4 papers, lordship, may see.
Look, anybody who has
and I belongs to a OBC candidate, my lord.
Anybody who has individual grievances, you may communicate your grievances. What we'll do is we are hearing the broader issue here. Any individual grievances we'll dealing and we'll hear that separately, you know.
Milos, 3.5.
One prayer is left out in item number 3.16. I have prayed, first prayer is re-NEET. Alternate prayer is, my lordships, forensic background check of the successful candidate.
All right, that will.
Milos, 3.25 is little different because we are saying that the no re-NEET should not happen.
Sorry?
This is for a group of students from Maharashtra, Milos, 3.25.
And you are saying there should be no re-NEET?
No re-NEET. Yes, Milos.
So you have to be on this side.
Yes.
So what is your argument with the way
The main argument is that this will create severe hardship to the students' hard work who have put in this effort not only since 8th till 12th, which is almost 4 to 5 years. Many students have also taken drop and prepared for this examination. And also, my lords, if we see the timeline, the process of registration started on 9th of Feb. The exam happened in May. The results came in June. So this will also entail them to again come back to this entire timeline and again draw back their procedure. So, my lords, we have certain submissions on that no re-NEET will be huge hardship for the students.
How many students are in the same boat as Ms. Tanvi Dubey, who said there should be no retake? Already we have. Anyway,
my lord, I want to say one thing, my lord, in my matter, my lord.
That's the point.
I say, my lord, I have not attempted the question for the reason, my lord, because there was double answer, my lord. So because of, my lord, apprehensions of negative marking, I have not attempted, my lord. So I have filed an IA to that effect, my lord.
Virendra Kumar Sharma.
Please, my lord.
What is your contention?
My contention is, my lord, I have not attempted the questions, my lord, for the reason because there were two.
Question 19.
And I may get negative marking, my lord.
Question 19.
Yes, my lord.
Then that's same as your learned friend Ms. Sukriti Chaudhary didn't answer the question.
So I say, my lord, full marks is to be given, though I have not attempted because of the apprehension.
That we have heard already. We have heard
total.
My lord,
and there is one more IA, my lord. There are two IA, my lord.
What is your client's total mark?
Sorry, my lord?
How many marks did your client get totally?
My lord, total marks, my lord, I got, my lord, 654, my lord. 654, my lord. 6.
So you will get 658.
Yes, ma'am.
My lords, in item 3.21, may I be permitted to say
and one more application, my lord, one more application.
Senior advocate, she is online where she's trying to make a submission. The issue is slightly different.
Yes, Ms. Gupta.
My lords, my case is a standalone matter. I am seeking retest and parity with the 1,563 students who've been permitted retest due to lack of loss of time. I suffer from hypohidrosis, which is extreme sweating of palms and sole. I was not permitted to take the handkerchief despite the fact it is not a banned item. Even in my OMR sheet, I could not fill my roll number properly. Lordship may kindly have page 41 of the PDF.
It will be a complete retest.
Yes. Well, it's because I lost my time in that because my OMR sheet, my roll number was wrongly mentioned. And then they put the white fluid, and then every time the video will show that I was not permitted. When I make a representation, they don't decide it. This code directs, and they say there was no ban on getting the handkerchief, but still I was not permitted. I was carrying my medical certificate. Because of that excessive sweating, my bubbling was pen was moving because of the sweating. I couldn't do proper bubbling.
All right.
It's a
Thank you.
totally standalone case.
All right. So now we'll close the arguments on this side.
Deeply obliged.
May I mention item 3.24?
Lordship, may I mention filed IA regarding that question only?
Completely different aspect.
May I mention one IA regarding that question only? That has come in the office report only, listed for today also, but it was not in the call list. My IA may also be considered on the similar lines.
Item 3.34.
Lord, can I mention?
Lord, may I mention item 3.24?
In item 3.3.
But in item 1, I am saying NTA officials are involved.
Lord, sir.
Lord,
No.
Lord, may I? May I have kind permission to mention item 3.24, my lord? Please.
But I am submitting and the NTA item 1 is a completely different.
Possible option which we have for that question 19 is that we can appoint, you just take instructions, we can appoint right now, we can ask the director IIT Delhi to appoint a board of experts. They'll take 5 minutes to give us a correct answer, right? And from the Department of Chemistry. And by tomorrow evening, they can tell us which is the correct answer.
Lords, may I respond 10:30 tomorrow? Let me just examine if there is a possible solution. Otherwise, my lords.
But that direction would imply that my argument for NEET is gone.
No, that is without prejudice to your This is on this argument which these people are making. We are considering that. We are going to hear arguments on the other side. Otherwise, what happens is, after we decide that, then again to do this exercise will be too long. So simultaneously, we can do both.
But I can leave it to your lordships. I can otherwise respond at 10:30 minutes.
Will you just put it up now?
They are sustaining the channel.
That's what I said.
Well, it may not, I'm suggesting, I will either way no difficulty. Instead of a committee, it can even be a one person. That's all. This is not something great.
For
an expert, it can't take one.
Question number 19 at the NEET. The following question, do not give the number.
Yes,
because it could change one.
Only question on atoms in physics, sir.
Question, yeah.
Q3. Q3.
One of the questions at the NEET UG 2024 examination read as follows. Colon. PDF page.
They have the.
Item number 4.
My lords, in item 4, it's the question is at page 22, if that assists my
Page 33, page 33. Page 33.
You'll have to give the number of the matter so that.
Page 23, my lords.
This is page 23.
Yes. And the question is at page 24.
Yeah, printed page 23.
Yes.
Not sure what they have done. In order to resolve the issue, as indicated above, four options were indicated in the question as frame, of which students had to select one option as their answer. Full stop. In order to resolve the issue as regards the correct answer to the above question, we are of the considered view that an expert opinion should be sought from IIT Delhi. Stop. We request the director of IIT Delhi to constitute.
Any senior professor of the subject, I think it's physics paper.
Physics. It's also interrelations to
Director at IIT Delhi to constitute a team of, let there be a team of 3 experts. Because a team of 3 experts who would be in a position, who may, of the subject concerned, to stop. The expert team constituted by the director is requested to formulate its opinion on the correct option for the above question and to remit its opinion to the registrar, to the Secretary General of this court, preferably by 12 noon on
23rd.
The Registrar General is requested to communicate a copy of this order to the Director IIT Delhi so that expeditious action.
Today itself.
Today itself, so that expeditious action can be taken. Expeditious steps for the preparation of the opinion and be taken as stated above.
Let's add that this was without prejudice to the contentions of the other side. Otherwise, it will be deemed to mean.
But we need not tell IIT Delhi that it is without prejudice.
In the order, man. In the order.
Look, let's not confuse the academic experts by all these linguistic excursions without prejudice. This is an understanding. We have told Mr. Huda that for us it's without prejudice.
Shall we place
if we decide a retest for the entire nation, then this
goes.
But instead of deciding that first, then making a reference, we'll do it simultaneously.
Shall we place our report before them if they need any?
No, that's why we have not even said, what happened, etc. Because then they'll get confused on what exactly. Let them give us that one correct answer.
Can I mention minutes? We have filed 6 intervention application in 369 petition number. That may be allowed and we may be permitted to file a short submission.
Yes.
Grateful,
madam.
blood while brushing, discomfort in gums while eating, and bad breath. These could be the 3 signs of gum problems caused by plaque bacteria. Choose Parodontax. It is 4 times more effective at removing plaque bacteria. Parodontax, the gum experts.
Well, a sharp fall on Friday erased most of the week's gains, but the markets managed to extend its weekly winning streak to 7 weeks. On today's edition of the Editors Roundtable, we decode the IT firm's stellar performance, especially Infosys. We'll tell you what brokerages are expecting from Budget 2024 in a couple of days from now. We'll put the spotlight on defense and railway stocks, and we'll tell you why cash is king, especially for India's mutual fund industry. I'm Sonia Shenoy, and this Friday joining me, Anuj, Nimesh and Rima. Also, we have with us Vinay Jaising, the MD of JM Financials, who will be giving us his view on the market. Vinay, thank you for joining in. But folks, very interesting week for the market, right? We had some really good numbers coming from the likes of Infosys. We had lots of solid cues as well, but the end of the week saw a large bout of profit taking.
Yeah, only Friday was like a bit of a reality check. We've not seen this kind of corrections, right? I mean, in fact, since the beginning of this year, or ever since COVID, we've not seen very large corrections. So we saw that one in June when the election outcome came, but a bit of a reality check was needed. I guess that's what it was for today.
This also was a week in which we had technically 2 Fridays. One which felt like Friday and one which was a bit of a nightmare. Today being a bit of a nightmare because the market was down so much. Today was such a long day. The market just, at no point did the market attempt any kind of recovery. And despite that, we ended in the green and we had one day off. So a lot was there in this week. I think this morning we were making this point that the market was showing some signs of exuberance with put call ratio at 1.41, with the FI long exposure at 4 lakh contracts. Now that's been the case for some time, but it looked like the market needed some kind of an excuse or some kind of a trigger. And the market was actually down today quite a bit, but still, overall, still a good week for the market.
A good week. And Anuj, we have been seeing this kind of moves in the market, right? It is an uninterrupted bull market so far, but every couple of months we see a sudden sharp slide. Yeah. Do you think that's the way the market is going to move?
I think on the broader market, that clearly is the case. Yeah. I think today also you saw, it's now fancy to say, okay, a mid-cap crash has started. But we have seen that so many times in the last 6 months that you don't want to say, okay, this is it.
Correct.
For all you know, post-budget, you might have a big rally as well. So
exactly. In fact, that's what my view is well. That there is so much of pessimism in the market. You talk to so many investors. The larger HNIs are sitting on cash. Mutual funds have raised cash levels, and there is no big commitment in this market, so to speak. We heard Ramesh Damani saying this, that he doesn't see any signs of too much of overcommitment in the market or too many leverage positions, right? So in that sense, you might see this few hundred points or few percentage points of corrections, but the fact that the positions, especially from the retail HNIs and the larger HNIs and retail investors, in the last many days have been a bit on the lower side. There is no big exuberance, so to speak. So maybe if the budget gives a reason to fall, maybe what happened to June 1st when the election outcome come, maybe that same thing can repeat. But on the other side, if there is no big negative surprise in the budget, maybe you'll see a big flow of liquidity, which can just take market to some another high. So again, that's something which need to be seen, early next week when the budget comes.
What the market has done with today's fall, I think, is also perhaps try to price in some kind of disappointment in terms of the capital gains tax. Yes. And if nothing happens on that front, I think that itself would be good for the market. Rally. That itself could lead to a relief rally. In fact, let's ask our expert, Vinay Jaising is joining us now. He's the MD of JM Financials. Vinay, hi, good evening. What's your view on how the market's positioned right now heading into the big event?
So a couple of things, first, I think people are not overly kept on cash. So though we say the mutual fund levels for cash is high, the AUMs are also very high. So when we are talking about, 1.5 lakh crores, which are there with the mutual fund, that's about 5% of what the AUMs of mutual fund is. If you look at the average for the last 7 years, we're smack on there. Peak was about 6.5%, bottom was about 3%. So you're in a good state, right? What has, however, happened is, as you put it much better than I would have. There have been some spaces which had a huge exuberance in the past, especially in the capital goods spaces, where valuations were a question mark. People are waiting for the budget to see what's happening on the capex front. Are they overly populistic, or what's happening on the tax front? So, they're kind of booking profits a little bit in the shorter term. But, a 2% fall in, let's say, in the small cap today still gives the small cap at, probably 60% of the last year, the best performing market in the world. It doesn't change that. A bit of correction being healthy. People are just waiting for this event to see no bad news. And then you see more than the DIIs, which are, invested as much as $16 billion in the country since April, is the FIIs, who've just invested $1 billion since April. But the most interesting thing is post-election, they've invested about $6 billion. So FIIs are waiting for the budget. As long as there's no bad news, I think, touch wood, we should see much higher days to come.
Okay, as long as there's no bad news, right? So let's see which way it goes. Let's not forget that yes, today was a down day, but we've had a relentless bull market in the last many weeks and months. One saving grace for today, though, was the IT companies, especially Infosys, that have been star performers all this week after large cap IT firms delivered in Q1. Rima, take us through what brokerages have said and what are we really seeing with the IT stocks? Well,
ఈ మూడు అపోహల వల్ల చాలా మంది స్టాక్ మార్కెట్ నుంచి దూరంగా ఉంటున్నారండి. ఆర్ ఇన్వెస్ట్ చేసిన వాళ్ళు కూడా లాసెస్ అక్యుములేట్ చేస్తున్నారు. ఫస్ట్ది సార్, స్టాక్ మార్కెట్ అన్నది ఓన్లీ ఫర్ ఎక్స్పర్ట్స్ కాదండి. ఎవరైతే నేర్చుకోగలుగుతారో, ఎవరైతే నేర్చుకునే తత్వం ఉంటుందో దే కెన్ ఎర్న్ మనీ. సెకండ్ సార్, ఏదైనా స్టాక్ పడితే అది కంపల్సరీ మరీ పెరుగుతుంది కదా సార్? నో. ఆ కంపెనీ బాగోలేదు అనుకోండి, ఫండమెంటల్స్ బాగోలేదు అనుకోండి, అది ఎప్పటికీ పెరగదు. ఇట్ విల్ బి అ కంటిన్యూస్లీ డిక్లైనింగ్ కంపెనీ. మూడవది బై లో సెల్ హై. సార్, నేను లోయెస్ట్ ప్రైస్ లో కొంటాను సో దట్ నాకు తర్వాత మళ్ళీ పెరిగేటప్పుడు ఐ విల్ బి సెల్లింగ్ అట్ ద హైయెస్ట్ ప్రైస్. నో, స్టాక్ మార్కెట్ అన్నది నాట్ ఫర్ గ్యాంబ్లింగ్ అండ్ స్టాక్ మార్కెట్ ఈస్ నాట్ ఫర్ డిపెండింగ్ కంప్లీట్లీ ఆన్ టిప్స్ ఆర్ రికమెండేషన్స్. ఎవరికైతే సార్ నేను చాలా సీరియస్గా ఉన్నాను, I want to learn and consistently earn, మీ అందరి కోసం ఐఎమ్ కండక్టింగ్ a 2 hours ఫ్రీ మాస్టర్ క్లాస్. ఈ సెషన్లోని స్టాక్ మార్కెట్ని ఎలా డికోడ్ చేయాలి, హౌ టు ఎర్న్ కన్సిస్టెంట్లీ ఫ్రమ్ స్టాక్ మార్కెట్ వీ విల్ లెర్న్. సో దేనికి వెయిట్ చేస్తున్నారండి? ఇప్పుడే లింక్ క్లిక్ చేసి రిజిస్టర్ ఫర్ ద ఫ్రీ మాస్టర్ క్లాస్.
पता है, जब मैंने ऑफिस का कंफर्टेबल जॉब छोड़कर सिजर उठाई तब सबने मेरा मजाक उड़ाया. टेलर बनना है, लोन कौन देगा? पर मैं कुछ प्रेस करने का जुनून होना चाहिए. जहां सोच है वहां सपना, और जहां सपना है वहां SIP. SIP करे आपका सपना इन प्रोग्रेस.
म्यूचुअल फंड निवेश बाजार जोखिम के अधीन है. योजना संबंधी सभी दस्तावेजों को सावधानी से पढ़ें.
I just want to highlight 3 key takeaways or a read-through. One, there is some pickup, early signs of recovery in BFSI. Now, BFSI is important because that's the largest vertical in terms of contribution, 30 to 35%. So for Infosys in particular, revenue growth at 7.6% quarter on quarter after 6 quarters of a decline. TCS also clocked in a sequential recovery. The TCS management saying that North America BFSI did better than Europe BFSI, and even LTI Mindtree echoed that, BFSI clients saved a lot of money during costs, but now you're seeing some of those cost savings getting deployed into high transformation, high priority projects. So that's the key takeaway, that there is some recovery seen in BFSI. We have to see